Welcome everyone to Startup Grind Phoenix Pitch Battle. My name is Lauren Loeffler, or Lauren Baxter, oops, and I'm the director of Startup Grind Phoenix. Startup Grind is a global community of about 500 chapters in 125 countries. And normally we meet in person, but not right now because of COVID. So we are meeting virtually, but that's okay. We're still together. So if you have any asks in the chat, if you are building a startup, you need beta users, you want to connect with people, please use the chat. Feel free throughout this competition to chat with each other. We are excited to connect with you in person at some point soon. So before I introduce our judges tonight and get to the competition, I want to take a minute and thank our sponsors and our partners for supporting this event and also for the awesome prizes. So first I'd like to introduce Connor Hubach from our main sponsor, Hool Curry Law. And Hool Curry is giving the first place winner $1,200 in cash. The firm has been a longtime sponsor of Startup Grind and we're so thankful for their support. So Connor, do you want to tell us a little bit about Hool Curry?
Hey, thanks, Lauren. So my name's Connor. I'm an attorney with Hool Curry. My consciousness was uploaded to Zoom about 6 months ago, and I've been trapped since then. But we're we're making do. Most of our practice is working with startups and investors in the community. We're really happy to be a part of Startup Grind. It's been a really good partnership for us. And if you have anything you need to talk about, startup related or just business related, you can always shoot me a message and I'll try and respond. Thanks much.
Awesome. Thank you, Connor. And really excited to give the winner $1,200 in cash, especially during this time. I don't think Sarah is here. And Sarah, if you are from downtown Phoenix, you could just throw something in the chat, but I don't see you. So I'll go ahead and introduce downtown PHX. We have an amazing downtown, as most of you know, and our second place winner is generously going to be gifted $500 in cash and $300 of downtown credits. So what the heck are downtown credits? Well, if you have a board meeting and you want to use a hotel room in downtown Phoenix, she can hook you up with that. If you need some space for an event, she can do that too. So she'll be working with the second place winner for the $300 credit. And Downtown PHX is a nonprofit organization. They help anyone in need of figuring out what's downtown, both for business and personal pleasure. You can check it out. Sarah and her team are incredibly helpful. So thank you to them. Also, Miranda, who I don't see as well. Miranda, if you are here, let me know. But Miranda from Galvanize, big thank you. They've been a partner forever. They're offering the second place winner a year of open seating in their gorgeous co-working space. So that's pretty awesome. And if you want to share that with me, that's pretty cool too. So Miranda and her team at Galvanize have been so great when we do in-person events. It's a beautiful space and such a cool place and a very cool restaurant attached to it as well. Then we have Perimeter 83. I did see JC on this, so I'm going to, let's see. JC, I just put you on. We'll see if you can unmute yourself.
Perfect. I think it worked.
Yes!
Yay, thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your prize.
Perfect. Yeah, so my name is JC Smith. I'm the Business Development Specialist for Perimeter 83 at the University of Advancing Technology. For those of you that aren't familiar with Perimeter 83, it is a state-of-the-art co-working facility that is located on the UAT campus at I-10 and Baseline. We are open 24/7. We have plenty of parking. We have some pretty awesome conference rooms and tons of technology on campus that startups can leverage. So today for the third place winners, there we go, our prize will be a 6-month membership to the team that wins. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me via LinkedIn. That's usually the best way to get a hold of me. I'll also put my email address here in the chat. So definitely thank you for having me again and good luck to all of the participants.
Thank you. And thank you so much for generously offering that. We have some very generous people in our community.
I agree.
Lastly, I want to thank DFG Advisors, who would like to offer all of our finalists a business consultation meeting as well as a financial action plan. And I have Kale, who is going to chat a little bit about what him and his team do. Kale, I just made you a panelist, so you should be able to unmute yourself. Let's see. We'll give one more try. Ah, well, okay, let's see if that works. Okay, there we go. I see your picture. If you want to unmute yourself and talk a little bit about DFG Advisors, we'd love to hear it.
Yeah, sorry about that. How are you, Lauren?
Good, how are you? Good to see your face.
Good to see you too. Yeah, it took quite some time to rejoin there, but we're finally made it. So a little bit about DFG Advisors, and this is our first year partnering with Startup Grind, and we're super excited to do so. And like Lauren said, we are offering an initial consultation with all of the finalists today. So congrats on that. You guys definitely made it this far, which is awesome, to say the least. But basically, DFG, in a nutshell, we specialize in business owners, whether that's starting with just an idea in their mind all the way up to a high revenue producing company. And over the years, we found that working with these companies, they know how to do what they do best very, very well, day in, day out. However, these, I guess, boring yet mundane tasks don't get done to the side, which could subject each of the companies to significant risk. Our clients on, which we will do whenever we meet each of you. And it'll just help us understand the business health, what the goals of the partners of the firm are, or if it's a sole business owner. And from there, we'll be able to give you an actionable business plan to say, hey, here are a couple of things that we should tweak, or here are a couple of things that we saw are great, keep going along here, so on and so forth. So we'll have Lauren connect us after this. And before I end it here, I want to wish each of you good luck on the panels today.
Thank you so much. And I love that every startup walks away with someone. I think you said it best when you said that you're like a CFO.
Yes. Outsource CFO is the easy term. Yes. I should have just came in, said that, and exited.
That's all right. That's all right. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you to all our sponsors and partners. It's such a treat to be able to award some of our startups with something. And we had many applications, and these top 5, I'm excited to hear what they have to share with us tonight. So before we get to the schedule, I want to go ahead and introduce our judges and let them say a few words about themselves and who they are, and they will be the ones that are obviously judging the competition tonight. So let's start off with Brenda Schmidt, who is the CEO of Coplex. Brenda, you wanna?
Thanks, and great to be here. Sorry I wasn't distracting. I was going to enjoy the outside and then realized it was going to get dark. So I had to find a place where I wouldn't be sitting in the dark, but super happy to be here and judging this tonight. And yeah, I've been a founder, CEO, and involved in the entrepreneurial community for the last 15 years. Most recently as the founder and CEO of Solera. We raised 72 million, and then I left and have been the CEO of Coplex now for about 5 months, and have pivoted that organization over to be a corporate startup studio. But what we do is build startups. I'm on the board of the Startup AZ Foundation. I'm on the board or advisors of several early stage startups. This is the phase I really, really love. I teach entrepreneurship at New York University, and I'm a contributor to Entrepreneur Magazine.
Brenda, you are not busy. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your resume is absolutely so impressive. Next, I'd like to introduce Jimmy Choi, who is the Associate Vice President of Knowledge Enterprise at our own Arizona State University.
Hi there, everybody. Brenda, you and I are going to have to do 6 degrees of Jimmy and Brenda. I feel like there's all these intersections between us in downtown Phoenix, former NYU. We're both serving on the board of Startup AZ Foundation. I lead entrepreneurship and innovation at Arizona State University, and if I do my job well, The greater Phoenix ecosystem benefits from all of the students that graduate from ASU that are founding their own ventures, whether they're nonprofit, low profit, or high profit. And so we're significantly happy to be working with the greater Phoenix ecosystem as a whole. Again, doing anything we can to support it, not just for ASU, I should say, ASU students, faculty, staff, community, alumni for sure, but the greater Phoenix community as a whole. As I mentioned, I'm a downtown Phoenix resident, although I do split quite a bit of my time still in New York. New York is where I got involved in my first startup company many years ago. Had the opportunity to go from being the sixth person on the team to helping take the company public just a couple of years later. So really understand this journey, and we're here to support as much as we can. And again, to really help support, make the greater Phoenix ecosystem as strong and vibrant as possible. So thank you for having me.
Excellent, and thank you so much. I just realized that your rainbow is a background. I thought, oh wow, that really is beautiful. such impressive resumes, and we're so lucky to have you give your commentary and feedback to our startups. Next is Connor Hebach, who we just saw, but let's have you tell a little bit about yourself, Connor.
Yeah, so it's me again. I'm an attorney with Holler Law. We work with startups from launch to exit. We work with investors. We work with venture debt funds. So we kind of run the gamut on the entrepreneurial ecosystem here in Phoenix. I'm also an adjunct professor at ASU Law, and I teach courses in business law and kind of managing intellectual property for businesses. So do that side too. And again, just happy to be here with all these more impressive judges than I. So I'm gonna kick it back.
I love all the teaching. I love all the teaching. You're just as impressive, Connor. And last but not least, we have Jamie Baxter, who is the co-founder and CEO of Quick.
Hi everyone, excited to be here tonight and see the presentations. Quick is an on-demand staffing platform for the food and beverage industry. Think of it as the gig economy for bartenders, servers, cooks, and dishwashers. Before Quick, I was an entrepreneur. I built 6 different products from concept to revenue, but this is also my 3rd company that I've started outside of that. And moved here about 3 years ago to start Quick and be part of the Phoenix tech ecosystem. And I've really enjoyed being here and excited to see some new startups coming up through the ranks and presenting tonight.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So startups, here's how it's going to work. And we won't start your time, your 3 minutes, until you're situated. Don't worry, I'll be nice. We have an order. The order is the PACT app, Innovation Construction Technology, SensaCAT, Holler Service, and Saber Pack. So those are our 5 startups. Each of you will get 3 minutes to pitch. I will be making you first a panelist, and then I'll make you co-host so you can share your screen. We'll let you get situated. I'll put the timer on for 3 minutes, and I will cut you off at 3 minutes. And then the judges will have 5 minutes for any clarifying questions or comments and feedback. So that's how we are getting started tonight. First up is the PACT app, and I'm going to move you to a panelist, Dylan, and then I'm going to make you the co-host.
Hey, everybody.
Yay, it worked. Perfect. Hello, hello, hello. I won't start your time until now.
Will I give you like a signal at all, or just roll into it?
Oh, I'll tell you. All right. Let me get, see, you beat me already because I got to get my timer on. Okay, your time starts now.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Dylan Munn. I'm founder and CEO of PACT, where we are excited to introduce you how we're going to be revolutionizing the way that you close out your bar and restaurant tabs. So we've all been there. You just had an amazing meal, but now you're really anxious and getting kind of nervous because you want to close out, you've got something to go to, and your server is nowhere to be found. It's anxiety we all know, and it's really painful to be a part of. Introducing PACT. Now, this is a live walkthrough of our alpha product today in Devil's Advocate in Tempe, Arizona. That means you can go down to Devil's right now, open up PACT, link your credit card, open your tab, order through your server like you normally would, But when you're ready to close out, you add your tip and close out through the app. No need to wait around. And the best part is, the second time you go into Devil's or any of our other locations, we already have your contact information and your credit card linked to your account. So no need to re-enter that information in. You can just open and close as quickly as you want. Now we're finding there's three major stakeholders within our ecosystem. The restaurant owner can have an improved customer experience, increased table churn. The server is able to focus on customer service and upselling, driving more tips to their wallet. And of course, you, the consumer, can get up and leave whenever you want, giving you hours back into your life. Now, what's so unique about Pact is the way we built it. Now, we've done a full direct point of sale integration on both the software side and on the payment rails. Now, that's important because that gives us the ability to fully scale across 30,000 bars and restaurants tomorrow if we really wanted to. But that's just the beginning. We're very confident Pact can reach 70,000 bars and restaurants across the United States, charging each location $100 per month per location, as well as 99 cents per transaction to the consumer. And our team is uniquely qualified to be able to bring this product to market. We not only have the technical prowess to build a proper market, but we also have the restaurant background and experience and industry connections to really build out a service that the industry wants to work with. And as you can see from our competition, no one's doing it correctly so far. Even with the tailwinds of a pandemic, contactless payment, our competition has barely scratched the surface of our industry. Why? It's because they don't have that restaurant experience to really listen to the proper system to build out the right product. Now, we've launched our alpha in Tempe, Arizona in August. We've been iterating off of the feedback over the past 2 months, and we'll be launching our beta system across a number of locations in Tempe, Arizona, and the rest of the Phoenix Valley for Q4 2020. But that's really just the beginning. Because of our hyperscalability, we're going to be adding on markets in 2021 and beyond. Now, this is my third startup as well. And so I know we've got to be very liberal with our expenditures, conservative with our growths. But even with those constraints, we're very confident Pact can not only meet, but exceed these growth financials. Looking forward to these questions. And this was Pact.
Great job on time. Excellent. Excellent. All right. You want to unshare your screen? We'll go ahead and let the judges have 5 minutes.
Great presentation, Dylan. So question for me, can you clarify the revenue model? You said you're charging $100 per month to the location and 99 cents per transaction to the consumer. And how are you collecting the money on both sides?
So we add our Pact fee as an item within the point of sale system. And so when the consumer opens up their tab, we're automatically added on there. And then that gets charged to their card and gets sent to the client. The client holds it for a month, or excuse me, for a week. And then we do an ACH pull from their account for both our monthly fee and then for the weekly transactions every week.
And how did you determine that $100 per month was the right price?
A couple of different ways. A lot of our competitors are around that ballpark. A lot of similar companies like 7 Rooms and some of our other like-minded clients or companies are in that ballpark. And then we also did a lot, just kind of talked to a lot of bars and restaurants and said, what can you afford? It's a pandemic. You've been closed for the past couple of months. And they kind of said around $100. Same with the consumer side. I used to spend my summer nights interviewing ASU students on Mill Ave, asking them what they would pay for this. We actually got all the way up to $20, but some people would say anywhere between $1 and $5. So that's kind of how we did the market research.
And then is your competition paper, or what's the current market penetration of digital ordering and payment apps in the market today?
For the restaurant space, it's very low. It's very low, and I have some recordings of this, which is really exciting. I've tried to use our competition, but because it's the transaction isn't really between the restaurant owner and the consumer, it's between the server, and the server really doesn't have any real motivation to do it unless they know why they want to do it. And so the reason there's such few penetrations, no one has brought the servers along with the journey. And so if I'm the consumer and I say, hey, I've got this tab open, I've been kicked out of 2 bars because they said, I don't know how the hell you hacked into our POS system, but you got to get out of here. And so that's our big focus, is we bring the servers along with us. And that's where the restaurant industry experience is really differentiating us.
Does that mean you're training the servers at each restaurant on how to do this as well?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, Jamie, as a follow-up to that, I just want to clarify. So were you saying that the order still has to be done through the server? It's not an ordering and payment system.
So we do have that capability, but we are finding that servers do not like that system, and if they don't like it, they're not going to work with it. Now we can do reordering in the future, and so that's the example where I've got my food. I just want to get one more beer, one more soda, and that goes to the bar, and then the server can help bring it over. So we're working with them to see what that transaction flow is, but luckily on every different bar and restaurant, we can customize the workflow. So if they don't want it, you know, if it's a high-end restaurant, we're working with LGO right now. They were like, hell no, we're not doing the ordering. But some of the Tempe bars and restaurants were like, throw it in there, who cares? So, great question.
One other quick follow-up. Did you say that pricing was based on the current economic climate and where we are right now with the pandemic and the state of the restaurant and bar industry? Does that mean that the pricing could change at a future point?
Yes, and it already will change. It really depends on the client. You know, again, we're working with LGO right now. They're much different than, you know, God bless Devil's Advocate, just the one location. So really kind of work on the client by client basis.
What POS systems do you integrate with?
So right now we are directly integrating with Toast point of sales, and we work with that team nationally. We have Square, Shift4, and Heartland and Clover are all technically able to get integrated shortly. But I know my CTO is on this call, so I don't want to overpromise anything. But we do have the capability to scale up across a number of other POS systems pretty quickly.
What's your defensible competitive position if a Toast or Clover just wanted to build an app themselves?
It's not cross-platform. Actually, a lot of them do. A lot of them do have it, and the clients hate it. They truly hate it. There's a lot of reasons why. You know, I can always go into that, but essentially, the in-house built ones have never really worked that well. The clients don't really like them, and then also, eventually, the winner of this market is going to be the person who can scale across multiple point-of-sale systems directly. Because if the one-off situation, just not really that much of a value add, so I'm not going to really use that as a consumer. So that's one moat. And the other moat is technically there's not, you know, they're not mutually exclusive because it's just an API partnership with the restaurant. You can have our competition. It doesn't integrate. So, but you can have them. But at the end of the day, it's the servers. The servers are our champions. The servers are going to want to say, oh, you're using a Pact competitor? You should, you know, delete that app, download Pact. It's a way better system. And that's where we're really going to be driving a lot of our consumer engagement.
Are there any aligned incentives with those servers in terms of getting any revenue from using, suggesting, liking the app?
There's a couple of positions we have on that. One is that the paper tip hasn't changed in 50 years. There's been no innovations on the amount of tip. People are still, there's still tip calculator apps. So there's still confusion on that. There, we can help gamify. We can, you know, it's software. We can increase the UI UX. We'll know who's good tippers, bad tippers. That's one side of it. The other side of it is they hate closing out. So that, you know, they can do churn and burn much more quicker. And the third one is we are having some competitions where we're able to track which server is helping close out that tab. And we're thinking of doing a bit of a round robin raffle to give out a portion of our revenue.
That brings us to time unless we have any other burning questions.
I'll put my email in the chat if anyone does have any more questions.
Perfect. Great pitch. Great job.
Thank you.
Now, do I leave or do you?
Oh, I'll do it. Don't you worry.
Don't tank.
You get the hook from Lauren.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Dylan, the Pact app. Next, we have Tim from Innovative Construction Technology. And Tim, I'm going to make you the co-host.
Awesome. Excellent. Thank you.
And sorry, Dylan, you're gone. All right, Tim, give me 1 second. Okay, we are going to start our time now.
Great. Thanks, Lauren. Hi, my name is Tim Duncan. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Innovative Construction Technology. The construction spend in the U.S. last year was $1.6 trillion. It's expected to grow to almost 70% to $2.7 trillion by the year 2030. Unfortunately, 80% of all construction projects finish over budget and 61% don't finish on time. This is further complicated in that there's a labor shortage while demand for construction is increasing. To solve this, contractors are turning to technology to do more with less. People have been building buildings for thousands of years, and paper has been the primary form used to convey both design and record progress since at least the time of the pyramids. The problem is that tracking construction progress on job sites hasn't changed since the ancient Egyptians. Contractors are still manually recording progress on paper drawings and hoping someone enters the information into other tools that managers need to make timely decisions on issues that arise. The process can take a week, it's extremely inefficient and full of errors. We started our new venture to improve contractors' productivity and their bottom line by eliminating this paper-based workflow. I'm a registered architect. This is my second business in this industry. My first business, CATsoft Consulting, Lisa, Mary, and I successfully grew to be one of Autodesk's top 12 resellers in the US. We had a nice exit a few years ago. We're joined by our new co-founder, David Francis, who is the chairman of the Association of General Contractors MVP BIM Forum. David is very well known and respected within the industry. ICT Tracker is going to eliminate manual progress tracking forever. Our patent pending software uses iPads and the 3D models the contractor already has. Through augmented reality, we superimpose a 3D model on the built environment, and all the contractor has to do is select the installed components and set the status. And that easy, we've digitized a collection of construction progress. But the real magic happens here in that we provide the contractor with data-rich reports on key performance metrics that he needs to know to better manage labor and the project real time to increase profits. Our customers are getting projects done on time and in budget. They love us. In fact, Bob from Worcester Air Systems was able to save over $127,000 on his first project by reducing labor, rework, and getting the project done within schedule. Our software is being used on some pretty massive projects. It's being used on a $200 million Amazon distribution center, the new hockey arena in Seattle, and the $1.1 billion Tesla Cybertruck Gigafactory in Austin, Texas. How cool is that? We charge construction companies on average $45,000 a year for 35 named users to access our platform. Many of the nation's leading construction companies are starting to use ICT Tracker. We're definitely solving a big problem in the industry and providing a ton of value to our customers.
And that's time. Oh, good job, Tim. All right.
Excellent. More than happy to take your questions.
All right, judges.
Hey, Tim. On the pricing, I think you had a great stat there around how much money was saved on that first project. Why not charge more? If you saved $127,000 on the first project, but you're only charging $45,000 per year, how did you come up with the pricing, and why not charge more?
Yeah, that's a good.
Tim, do you want to come off share screen so we can see?
Yeah, let me do that here just a second. Oops, stop sharing. There we go. Excellent. Yeah. So what we're doing, Jamie, is that's on average price. We're currently targeting more enterprise sales. So as we're going forward, we're targeting more about 150,000 for an entry price, but that's basically the average, taking into account some of the smaller contractors and then some of the much larger contractors, such as the Turners in the world.
Tim, as a follow-up, so you're charging based on the company, not based on the project or the job, or the scale of the project or the job. If it's, you said it's $45,000 per year.
Well, that is correct. Yeah. So we're intentionally not charging by project. If we were to do that, we'd have to go back and sell the same customer multiple times every time a project came up, and they'd have to put us in the project budget. So no, it's an enterprise sale to the contractor.
Hey, Tim, good to see you again. Can you elaborate on your competition a little bit?
Yeah, sure, Connor. You know, one of our biggest competitors right now are contractors still wanting to do things manually. You know, however, with COVID, which, you know, is causing, it's taking away 45 minutes out of every workday for each contractor, which is about a 10% hit. You know, contractors are looking at ways to increase productivity. So manual methods really isn't much. We are seeing a few of these 3D photo solutions coming up. Struction Site is an example. They'll basically take a 3D photo of the job site. We see them as somewhat of a competitor, but the problem of taking a photo is, you know, I can confirm that I've got a piece of conduit hanging from the ceiling, but what a photo doesn't tell me is if a wire's pulled through it, if that wire's been energized, or it's been tested. And that's the type of detail that we provide our customers.
Tim, you're selling this to the GC. How do the subcontractors get this technology and know how to use it to report back to the GC, if I'm understanding that correctly?
Yes, so we basically sell to both the trade contractor, and what we're finding is they get enough value from it because it gives them insight in terms of what's happening on the job site. They can better manage their crews, reduce rework. But we're also finding that general contractors are using it as well to get a handle on their subcontractors. So for example, Turner Construction is using it on a large VA project in Florida. And they basically have our dashboard up in their job trailer so each of the trades can see where the other trades are. And it's basically used as a mechanism or a motivation to keep everyone on track and on schedule. So both from the trade contractor and the GC.
What do you feel is your biggest risk right now?
Biggest risk right now is probably not getting it out there in the hands of as many people as we possibly can. There are a lot of people trying to solve this problem, and you know, construction tech is very sticky once someone adopts it. So I think our biggest challenge right now is scaling as fast as we can.
Excellent. Any other questions?
What's your next executive hire?
We're currently looking for a software architect.
Look at that job advertisement too. What more could you want? Well, thank you, Tim. Excellent pitch.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Next, we have SensaCAT and Daryl. Daryl, I'm going to get you all set up here.
Thank you, Tim. That was great.
All right. All right, Daryl, it worked. Why don't you try to talk, Daryl, just so we make sure we have.
Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect. Perfect. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start now.
Hi, my name is Joe Keaton, president and founder of SensaCAT. Due to COVID-19, we had an opportunity to bring a new product to market to help manufacturing businesses stay open. And we created SensaCAT, a security access control and monitoring system. So the problems that customers are facing is safety concerns, operational impact, and decision-making. So what does this mean? As a manufacturing company, I have over hundreds of people coming in and out of multiple locations internationally, but how do you safely understand risk being exposed to COVID through temperature screening and other compliance measures and changing policy? To solve this, we created SensaCAT. It's an automated contactless security access control and monitoring system that provides manufacturing site leaders the necessary insights to keep their facilities operating safely and effectively. So how does it work? We have a automated and contactless temperature screening kiosk that also does facial recognition, face mask detection, and when wearing a face mask, doing facial recognition. So some AI solutions. It also integrates directly into the badge access system and can be deployed on your badge access outdoors. It performs real-time communication of any felt temperatures via text and email, and provides data analytics using AI to help make business decisions. And in addition, during this next quarter, we're adding microservices for using cameras to monitor compliance for face mask detection across buildings. And we also have, from our prior technology, social distancing detection. So our value proposition is the artificial intelligence and machine learning from the data that we're collecting to help customers drive business decisions. For example, using our open alerts tracking for any felt temperatures to go through and track that person coming in and out of the business, and being able to allow to come back to the office once they are tested negative for COVID. Also, we're able to collect data for multiple locations. So if you're a company that has over 100 locations globally, you get all this data centralized right here in our application, helping you keep your employees safe at work. And as I mentioned, the real-time text and email alerts, and then the event management logging system that track for compliance. So our market opportunity is the global physical security market, which is over $120 billion. And our addressable available market is a global security access control market. And we're targeting 0.25% of US manufacturing for $35 million. Some of our customers include Fender Guitars, Avnet, and Grove Collaborative. And over the last 3 months, we've done $56,000 in revenue and have a customer pipeline of $320,000. And we have funding committed, hopefully in October, for up to over $200,000, and hope to double our sales going into October and November.
All right. We'll just leave that one up there for a second. All right, Daryl, great job. Thank you.
Hey, Daryl. Can you say, and maybe I missed this, about what the revenue is based on? Is it a subscription? Is it a per user fee?
Right now it's transactional, but with our web application just launching, we're moving into monthly reoccurring fees. So we sell the hardware, and then we'll be moving into the application as a separate cost. But we have a hardware commitment investor that will actually fund it, where we can actually combine the application and the hardware to a monthly fee. So actually we can allow our customers to buy it over time instead of transactional one time.
If it's 2 years from now and there's a vaccine and things are back to more normal, it seems as though the temperature and mask wearing detection would not be necessarily the key driving feature of why people would need it. So then your competition seems like it's very different in terms of some of the other technology companies out there that are doing the access control. So how are you thinking about the value proposition for this versus others, as COVID may not be as top of mind?
Sure. So we're really good at AI on the edge with computer vision. So we're targeting manufacturing because there's an uptick in Industry 4.0 and industrial IoT. So we're actually building those relationships, knowing that this may not be something that companies want long term, but with security access, it's crucial. So facial recognition is an up and coming technology for companies, even at their facilities. So using our computer vision technology, it's getting us in the door, but also further opportunities and other products that we can address as we build relationships.
So to follow on with that, like assuming you're shifting into a more kind of traditional security play, and assuming that the COVID, madness ends at some point, what does your competition look like, and what's protectable, and what's the differentiator? I know that's kind of a loaded question, but if you could kind of speak to that, I think that'd be helpful.
So can you ask that question one more time? Sorry.
Yeah, it's like a 5-part question, but so basically, like in a post-COVID world, what's your differentiator? What's protectable about what you're doing, and what does your competition look like if you're really operating in a more traditional security space?
Sure. So the AI and analytics is IoT and cloud based. So we have multiple locations. One of our customers, Avnet, has 100 locations. Their chief logistics officer has a hard time overseeing all that data at once and has to basically go door to door to understand what's happening. So when you think about improving unauthorized access protection for businesses, we're providing those insights to give them real-time information, but also help them plan and prepare on how to make improvements for their facilities as they grow. Go ahead.
I was going to ask about the market opportunity. You're targeting a $34 million market size. This is, hardware which requires lots of capital with a small market size. How do you convince investors to invest in that?
So that's our initial market size, knowing where we're at today with targeting kind of around the temporary screening. So we plan to grow that market size as we add new features into our business.
On a post-COVID world, what's the market size look like?
I believe for physical security, it's a compound growth average of about 12.5% per year, starting at right now a minimum of a $9 billion market size of 2020.
Is it? Oh, sorry, Jamie, go ahead.
One last question. In the current COVID state, how do you get this out into as many hands as possible? With a limited time frame of COVID, how do you go to market fast?
Sure. So we've leveraged our network to get referrals, and then some of our customers already started giving us referrals, and then building sales channels. So having the partnership with Avnet, we became one of their IoT partners. So they're actually deploying it and then also reselling it in part of their IoT marketplace. And then we also partner with Access Communications. They're a Swiss-based company doing cameras and have an international presence, and plan to be a partner with them too.
Is it active or passive? So when I think about security control, I want to know not only who's in there that should be there, but the people that are there that shouldn't be there. So if I walk by this as an unauthorized person in a particular area of a manufacturing plant, will it know that?
Yes, so that's why we pull into the component of facial recognition. It is really apparent to companies when they're bringing people back. People are wearing face masks. How do you know who's who when coming in? So one of the features that we're building out is tailgating. Typically tailgating is done through just sensors like radar, but with visuals like camera, we can actually detect if someone is badging in but allows someone to walk in that's not authorized immediately. So we understand, to some of the questions earlier, even though we're addressing something around COVID, how are we growing? Tailgating is one of the features I didn't get to mention that we're positioning towards too based on customer feedback.
About 5 minutes. Any last clarifying questions? All right. Thank you so much, Daryl.
Thank you.
Right. Next, we have Micah with the Holler app, or Holler service. I'm sorry. Micah, let me get you all set up.
All right, can you guys see me or hear me?
We can hear you. We can't
share screen with you.
Oh, perfect.
Work. Okay.
All right. Hold on. Let me reset. Okay.
It's also, you're showing your speaker view, just so you know.
Oh, that
means that showing is showing your notes and your speaker view.
Oh, it's showing. Oh, thank you for.
Oh, bless you.
Now I got to figure out how to fix it. Let me just see here. Let's see. Okay, let's try this again, maybe. Can you select which screen you share? Yeah, I'm going to do that.
That was a good suggestion,
Okay.
JC. Thank you.
Okay. Now, let's see if that works. There we go. You guys should see nothing. Is that working?
Yep, we see nothing.
Okay, perfect. So I want to start out. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Okay.
Okay, so I want to start out by showing you guys what $200 billion looks like. I want to do that, but it's not. Well, there we go. So obviously it doesn't look like much, but when you think about the fact that every single building has at least one of these. Every building you've ever seen, every building you've ever heard of, every building you've ever walked into has at least one of these units. And the repair and maintenance of this kind of equipment is a $200 billion industry in the US alone. Large customers like these pay hundreds of millions of dollars each year, and today they use traditional service companies. Now, AC was invented over 100 years ago, and so was the air conditioning business model. For example, most companies use 7 different human beings to manage a work order, and that doesn't even include the tech. So many hands and so many roles leave a lot of room for open cracks, and that leads to poor customer service, high overhead, long equipment downtime, no transparency, surprise overbilling, and even still companies using paper today. Now, how do we know this? Xander and I have worked together for several years at the largest traditional service company in the country. I call it the McKinsey of air conditioning. And the things that we did there were hire and manage technicians, launch new markets, sell multi-million-dollar contracts, and even actually fixing equipment with our bare hands. And then we met Tom a few months ago, and he comes highly qualified and has always loved working with startups, and he's even already launched our MVP. All of our experience has prepared us to build Holler for on-demand equipment repair. So Holler connects restaurants and retailers with on-demand technicians for equipment repair. Technicians earn more. The average technician in America today is paid $21 an hour. We are able to offer as high as $50 an hour. And customers pay less. By leveraging technology and using the gig economy, we're able to offer a labor-only rate of $99 an hour and no markup on parts, which is unheard of in the industry. We launched in March 2019, and this year we're on track, or we've already done $207,000 in revenue and expect to hit $250,000. We've done almost 400 service requests. We have $7,000 in monthly recurring revenue. We've partnered with a local trade school and are developing an online training course. And probably most importantly, our customers are begging us to take on their business. We have signed LOIs from Express Clothing, True Food Kitchen, and Little Caesars, already worth $5 to $8 million. So what's next? We need to save or raise capital.
And that's time.
Oh my gosh, we're so close.
It's so close. If you want to stop sharing screen.
Yes, I do want to stop sharing my screen somehow. Oh, sorry.
And judges, I'll let you take it away.
You got it. There we go. Oh, can you guys see us?
Yes.
There you guys are.
I'm curious, are you operating a 1099 or a W-2 model, and how does the money flow work?
So it is 1099. They're all on-demand technicians. As far as revenue models, so we charge $99 an hour, and we keep the difference between the technician's labor rate and that 99.
So the business is paying you, and you're paying the contractor?
That's right. Yeah, so we're totally the intermediary. The technician doesn't deal with the customer. It all goes through us. They deal with us as if we were a traditional service company.
Do you have a mechanism for capturing the satisfaction and quality of the technician and all on each job, and how does that factor into placing those people again?
Yeah, so I mean, ideally, we would have a full rating system that not only covered customer experience, but whether the technician was able to fix it the first time, whether what he thought was wrong was what was actually wrong. Today, we're doing that all manually, essentially calling customers, asking them how they felt about the customer, doing our own internal sort of metrics.
That's what you should be doing, so that's okay. That's your stage, so just curious.
Is it the case that, you know, large companies, you're saying like Walmarts of the world that have these very big units on their buildings and their warehouses and things, that they're really looking for technical services on a one-on-one basis versus some kind of contract mechanism or even in their own building management system?
So today they contract with traditional service providers that cover multiple states. And so they're not actually looking, specifically, they don't want to work with a single person, right? Walmart doesn't want to carve out one person for Joe or one store for Joe when they have thousands. They want the price of working with as if it was one person, but they just don't have the ability to manage a one person per store. We kind of give them that option without them having to manage.
Is this all commercial at this point, or are you guys doing residential as well?
No, so our background's in commercial. I mean, we're doing residential for like the owner of LGOs and IGS and things. But it is, our background's in commercial, and that's where we want to be. Eventually, rolling into residential just makes sense. That's not something on our radar right now.
Is it easy for you to find the supply of the technicians?
It's easy to find the technicians. The hurdle that we run into is our typical hours are during normal business hours. So a technician working at a W-2 company from 9 to 5 doesn't have the ability to just come out and do a call for us, say at noon. They have to essentially quit their job to come on demand. And that's been the hurdle. So we've had to show that we have the volume of calls. We've had to show what sort of history we've had so that technicians feel comfortable quitting a job to come to us.
And it seems like there would be some seasonality to this. Is that sort of factored into the business model as well?
There's definitely seasonality. I mean, this was the hottest summer on record. It was the hottest summer on record. I mean, it's crazy. Working with restaurants specifically, they have 24/7 equipment. Refrigerators, ice machines, walk-ins, ovens, things that go down all year long. And then when you think about the entire country, even when it's not hot, other places in the country, it's too cold. And so while there is some seasonality, it averages out, you could almost say.
Jamie, I feel like you know this space the best in terms of, right, people that are kind of on demand for specific things, but did I just hear you say that it's not just for building wide, you know, AC units and things like that, but also for refrigerator units, cooler units, things inside?
That's right, yes. So
the technician you're talking about is actually quite broad then.
It's quite broad. So typically in the industry, if you can fix an air conditioner, you can fix a refrigerator. So it's not too hard from the technician standpoint. Cooking equipment is a little bit of a skill, but that's what we're offering. We're offering all three of those trades.
Are you launching on a market by market basis? And if so, what markets are you in?
I didn't hear you for some reason.
Are you launching on a market by market basis? And if so, what markets are you in?
So we're in Arizona now, we're in Phoenix. We're handling all of the Papa John's here. We have LGO, IGS. We're doing a lot of works for just one-off mom and pop shops. Our goal is to expand, and we're looking at Colorado right now for that next expansion. Once we get there, we're actually able to unlock Express Clothing, True Food Kitchen, Noodles and Company, dozens of other people now that we have 2 states covered.
You mentioned the parts being at zero markup. Where do the technicians buy the parts from? Are they getting them from you? Are you selling the parts? Or the technicians have to source the parts themselves?
So we manage that entire process. So if a technician goes out and finds he needs a compressor, we know where that compressor is in stock locally. We tell the technician to go pick it up. They buy it on our account, essentially. They go finish the job, and then we just bill it all to the customer.
Great, and that brings us to time unless we have any other questions. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, and the last pitch of the night, we have Bill with SaverPack. I'm gonna make you a co-host, Bill.
Let's see how that works. So can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yep. I am just going full analog. You're just going to be looking at me. I'm not doing a slide or any button clicks. So
Let's
I'm ready
do
to
it.
go. Yeah.
We can't see you though. We just see a black square.
Well, that's a shame. I mean, not so much. I'm not that good. Stop. So I'm sharing video.
Yeah, you're a black box.
I can, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. So
if not, you can pop your picture up and, yep.
Okay, so I could, well, but I had, again, my whole thing is analog. I'm not doing any slides.
You just ruined it.
Yeah, so, oh, that's why, maybe.
Oh, there we go. We got you.
All right, so.
I'm gonna go ahead and start now.
Okay. We've all experienced the crushing disappointment of food delivery when our food arrived after being destroyed by condensation. SaverPack stops condensation from ruining food. The SaverPack can remove 50% of air moisture in less than a minute without using chemicals, and SaverPack is compostable. I will protect your food by leveraging the laws of thermodynamics. To use this patented product, you remove it from the freezer and apply it to the inside of your packaging. Because it just came out of the freezer, it is well below the dew point temperature. The dew point temperature is the temperature at which water in the gas state changes to liquid. For this reason, the SaverPack aggressively extracts moisture from the air and immediately wicks it into the absorbent structure where it's trapped away from your food. As this condensation is forced from the air, it releases heat, making the SaverPack balanced. It is temperature neutral because condensation, as it forms, it's exothermic. Hot food stays hot, cold food stays cold. Your food stays crunchy and crispy. Here you can see the effects of the protected container is clear, and after 30 minutes, the other container is a rainforest. Food waste costs over $1 trillion a year. In this new COVID world, food delivery has doubled, placing the TAM for our product at 30 million units a day. Right now, food delivery is using holes in boxes in a feeble attempt to passively vent condensation. These vents, unfortunately, also allow for contamination. The SaverPack is used not just for delivery, but also for packaging pre-washed arugula, spinach, and lettuce. I'd like to introduce you to the team. This is Grant Stafford, the CEO. He went to Caltech, and he helped launch food tech companies like Miso Robotics and Pop ID. This is Dr. Alejandro Tomas Callejas. He advises on agricultural industry's gaps and opportunities. This is the COO, Greg. He has a proven track record of running international manufacturing companies. And this guy, he invented the SaverPack. He's a thermodynamic specialist. For many years, he built and engineered rockets and missiles and stuff. SaverPack is completely self-funding. Our biggest customers are Kitchen United, Wahoo Tacos, and Ghost Kitchen. And that's a wrap.
Awesome. 9 seconds to go, Bill.
I know. I've got a cheater teleprompt with the whole thing.
All right, judges, questions for Bill.
Yeah, Bill, a good job. A couple questions. How are you calculating the TAM? And then the second question is a little bit more information on who your customer is. You mentioned takeout. There's some restaurants. There may be the package of lettuce. So talk a little bit more about economics.
There are a lot of verticals to go after. In fact, yesterday we were at sweet greens, and they had a completely different application. They were worried about microbial growth, and they just wanted a drier environment for their salads. And that really wasn't anything that was on our radar. So, that's new. But right now we have the product for food delivery. That is what we're going for now. And the TAM is based on that number, and it's a global number. And so, lots of countries have markets for food delivery. A lot of places are doing it better than us and have been for a long time. China's a bigger market than us. I had a business advisor who calculated that TAM. It was a smaller number before COVID. Did I answer all your questions? You had like a 3-parter or something.
Yeah, no, I always ask these 5-part questions. I guess.
And agriculture. So agriculture is a huge market. That'll be bigger for us than food delivery, and we haven't even touched that. So we are developing that product, and we can extend the shelf life. We're going after arugula, spinach, and spring mixes first because those have the shortest shelf life. They have a 10 to 12 day shelf life. If we can add 3 days, and we're actually showing we can extend the shelf life longer than that. But that is just massive. So BASF is a huge chemical company. They have a seed division, and they're even considering re-engineering their lettuces and items so they have more nutrition. Because right now, everything is designed for shelf life. And if they can get an extended shelf life based on packaging, well, now they can engineer nutrition and flavor into the agriculture. So, which is bigger than I ever imagined. So,
what is the process for getting approval on extending shelf life? I'm assuming that's not just an arbitrary date that they get to put on a package. So if you could say, I'm going to extend it 3 days, 5 days, who determines that?
So we're going to be working with the farms on that. So farms have agreed to do large batch, testing, and I expect them to own that.
Is it patented? Do you have a patent on the?
I have about 6 or 7 patents, and some of those are international.
And your distribution that you're thinking, it's the pack itself that's what you're.
It's the peel and stick. It's a universal solution.
Oh, it's a peel and stick.
Yeah, it goes into any packaging. So for some of the agricultural solutions, it's a drop-in. So we're not even looking. We get rid of the adhesive, and we save a bunch of money. I mean, that's one of our biggest costs. So.
But it is designed then for each individual consumer package. For example, if it's takeout, obviously it's the one takeout container for your French.
Sure, it's pretty
salads.
universal.
It's the one salad pack.
Yes. Yeah.
What's your gross margin?
So right now we have a pretty small margin right now. It depends on volume. I can talk more about pricing than margins, but it's 25 to 35 cents per unit depending on volume. We know at scale, which we're nowhere near scale, we can probably get our cost down to 8 cents per unit, but we're nowhere near that right now.
Did you say that was 8 cents per unit?
That's our goal, and we do believe we can get there or possibly lower. But so again, right now our margins are thin, but and I don't know those numbers.
How does this work on the agriculture side if it has to be frozen at the time that you insert it?
The agricultural facility is massive. You saw the videos or you visited one of these places. There's so much handling. There's lots of opportunity to have a drop-in, either manually. We're looking at a manual drop-in, but you just have a freezer or a dispenser that's frozen as things are going down the conveyor line. Again, there's so much. You cannot believe the miles of conveyor belt that arugula, spinach, these items go through before they're finally. They say triple washed. Well, that's no joke. It gets washed and it goes to a centrifuge and then it goes down a conveyor belt again and again. So there's lots of opportunity for a manual insert, or we'd love to automate it.
So apologies if I missed this. Lauren put me in timeout for a minute.
Shame.
Is this something you plan to manufacture and sell on a unit basis, or is this a licensing play really?
So we're manufacturing and selling it. My manufacturing partners are the people I presented earlier. So I mean, I wrote the patents and I own most of those myself. but you know, I'm partnered with this startup.
Great. Any last questions? Okay. Thank you so much, Bill. Sorry, Connor.
Thanks for your fun and creative pitch, especially the team.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
the
yeah,
team. Oh my gosh.
Great.
Full analog. I was going to do voices, but then I'm like, oh, that might be too much.
So startups, I'm going to move you all to panelists. And then for our audience, if you have a question, please put it in the chat while we take a short intermission. Judges, feel free to take a break, finish up your scores. We're going to take a little, about 10-minute intermission. And startups, I'm going to promote you all to panelists. And if anyone has any questions, please throw them in the chat. I'll ask.
Lauren, do you want us to submit our scores to you or just do it through the Google Sheet?
Just do it in the Google Sheet, and I have Miss Samantha adding them for us. We're very high tech here. Joseph has a question. How much do you sell the Saver Pack for? It's 25 cents the price to manufacture.
It depends on volume, so 25 to 35, depending on volume. So preferred pricing would be a large volume sale.
By the way, you can ask any of the startups a question. Any of the, and if startups, if you have something that you want to add in, the judges are already scoring, so can't buy you any points quite yet. So Bill, I have a question. Do you have a competitor right now?
Holes in boxes, which are going away because of COVID.
That's a big one.
So people are seeing holes in boxes as a source of contamination.
Yeah.
So it's and it was so weak anyhow, passively venting and hoping these food doesn't get soggy through these weak little. It didn't work. So that was what people used to do.
And Corey has a question for Saver Pack. Since it's supposed to go in delivery food, does the temperature of the pack affect the food and how hot it arrives? Good question.
No. So condensation as it forms releases heat. Condensation is an exothermic process. Of course, there is some cold content in the absorbent structure. That cold content will melt, but that of course is an endothermic process. So that is absorbing heat, but the enthalpy of fusion, that's the heat loss through melting, and the enthalpy of fusion, they're not balanced. The enthalpy of fusion, the enthalpy of vaporization, that's the exothermic, the heat release. It's over 6 times the amount of heat absorbed through melting. So ounce for ounce, pound for pound, condensation actually releases more heat than the heat absorbed through melting. So it's thermodynamically neutral.
That's what I thought the answer was going to be.
Yeah, I was going to clarify.
Yeah, sure. Yes, it's
I like that everybody has a sense of humor. All right, let's.
So I have a question for Jamie. Are all those plants there just solely to make me feel bad about my plants, or?
They're all just fake plants, Connor. They actually don't exist.
Mine are fake too.
Oh, thank God. I can add more plants to the office as well if you want to see them as you walk by to your office each day.
I do. I just want Phoenix around.
I need to bring him back in the office. He'll come in next Friday. Phoenix is my little dog that I bring into the office. And Connor is down the hall from me.
Jamie, somebody was convinced that that was a real screen, a real background behind you, and that was just your logo in your Zoom window. Good job on the virtual screen.
You must have designed that.
We've got a great designer.
All right, don't get startups. We almost are ready. So if you are off camera, definitely come on camera. We're going to give out some money tonight.
One of the score ads is not correct when I'm seeing Samantha add it up. Should I go in and say something?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, I think she's fixing it.
Thank you, Brenda. And just for everyone else, we do, if you haven't been to a Startup Grind event on virtually, we do one a month. And we will be hosting one in October and November. So definitely check it out. You can sign up for the Startup Grind email. I don't berate you with emails. I try to only do a couple just to promote the events. And right now, the great thing about having the virtual events is that they're all free. Usually when we have them in person, we do have beer and wine and food, but you can provide your own. It's BYOB right now. So if you haven't checked it out, check us out. You can sign up if you go to www.startupgrind.com. And mentioning that, the additional thing that everyone will win, the top 5 startups tonight, will be some of the top 3 will win, I think it's a 6-month membership to Startup Grind Global's community. They have all kinds of events you can participate in and resources. And the 4th and 5th place winner will also have a Startup Grind membership as well. So that's pretty cool. We have a very big global conference in Redwood City. This year it's going to be virtual. So hopefully that will be complimentary as well. All right, I'm going to go check in on our math. Thank you, Sam, again, and be back with the finalists.
I was the rate limiting step. I put them all in the wrong columns and I had to change it. So I apologize. I'm the constraint here.
No worries at all.
It's all good.
I would put on the hold background music from like the Cisco Systems things, but my microphone has a feedback noise background. Sorry.
Yeah, there's one that's on the call waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. I feel a little left out because I don't have a cool background. I need something new. I should have dogs or flying puppies or something.
I know. I'm extremely jealous of Jamie's background at this point.
You can always pay his designer to do something for you on the side. I'm sure that's legal.
Better yet, Connor, I'll send it to you. You can just represent Quick in all your calls.
Hey,
oh, jeez.
As long as it was after the competition and not before, that would be.
Lauren, you could just change the logos for everybody.
There we go.
Replace the logo, insert logo here.
I can make that happen.
Microsoft Paint to cross out Quick and put up HCL.
There you go. Hey, I've got your logo on my desktop. I could handle that. I use that logo a lot.
That'd be a nice judging gift, I'm just saying.
Yeah, that would be a nice judging gift. I'll talk to the Quick designer. Yes. Thank you, Jackie. Congrats to all the startups who pitched up tonight. Everyone was impressive. I agree. You all did such a great job. And as judges, I don't envy you having to choose.
I'm really curious what the Holler service is so excited about. They're cheering and high-fiving. What are you guys excited about?
That means you have to come off mute and tell us.
Oh, we should have.
That's the problem. We should have let our CTO handle that.
Yeah, we're celebrating because Lauren said everyone was winning a Startup Grind membership. So
yes.
Nobody high five me about.
Thank
Lauren,
you.
this is being recorded, right? You could use that as the testimonial now.
I will. I mean, I'm taking that right now. And by the way, the 4th and 5th place winners, I am sneaking in a $50 Amazon gift card to you from Hool Curry Loft, just so you make sure that you can buy something fun. So we had a few extra, so you get something. And Startup Grind membership. And DFG advisors. I mean, everyone's winning tonight. I think we have, okay, we're ready. All right. Feel like I should have done a drum roll. All right. Let's see. Drum roll, please. Anyone? Anyone? Okay.
I'm banging on my desk. Perfect. On mute.
Thank you. In 3rd place, who is the winner of a $250 in cash from Startup Grind membership, and a 6-month membership to Perimeter 83 is Saberback. Woo! Yes! Great job, Bill. I'm super excited about your product because I want crunchy French fries.
Yeah, everybody does.
All right. In 2nd place, winner of $500 from Downtown Phoenix and $300 in Phoenix credits, Downtown Phoenix credits, we have Holler Service. Now you can come off mute.
Awesome, you guys! We're so happy! Great. Yes!
Good job. Good job. You know, it's just, I think an in-person event, the cheering is just a little bit more elevated than
Poor kids are sleeping upstairs. They're like, what's going on?
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I think you get the galvanized. Wait, no, that's the 1st place winner, the galvanized membership, I think. Lastly, 1st place, Innovative Construction Technology in 1st place. Congratulations, Tim. $1,200 and I believe a 1-year membership to Galvanize.
Awesome. Great. Thank you.
Yes. And if startups, if you don't need any of these memberships to the co-working spaces, please let me know and I'll offer it to one of the other startups who participated. And thank you so much to you all for participating. The Pact app, SensaCAT, you guys have awesome stuff going on. I cannot wait to hear more and hopefully have you as a single panelist sometime on Startup Grind. So to everyone, to our lovely judges, thank you so much. Everyone, good night. Go feed your kids. Go feed yourself, and I'll hopefully see you at a happy hour really soon. And good luck to all of our startups. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Yep.
Good night, everyone. Nice to see everyone.
Bye, everybody.